Good day, programmers. Still on the Learn Python programming series. Today we're going to be looking at Lambdas. And before you start this tutorial, you should basically have a basic knowledge on functions. And if you don't have basic knowledge on functions, you can check the link in the description below. I'm leaving the link to the playlist so you can actually go ahead and watch the tutorial on functions or any other part of Python that interests you. So that's great. Now, what are Lambdas? Now, Lambdas are anonymous functions which can be written on one line. So I know you all used to defining functions like, say, def square. So we're taking an argument x and we'll just go ahead and return x times x. So great. And we could just go ahead and give a variable name, say a is equals to square of 4, and we'll go ahead and print a to the screen. Now this is normal. You can basically guess that that is 16 because we've taken in 4, which is here, and returning 4 times 4, which is basically the square of 4, and that is 16. Okay, so what this basically does in Python, Python's like goes ahead to assign this square function to a variable. Like before the program starts executing other parts, the functions are first stored in, I don't know, in memory or so. So that's basically what happens. But what if we wanted to create our own functions, assigning it to a variable immediately after creation? So great, how do we do that? We're going to use Lambda Functions, which are also called anonymous functions. So I'm just going to say square, and this time around I'm going to say square lab for square lambda. So this time around we're giving it equal to lambda. Okay, so the Lambda function is a basic way of creating it. We're going to give the argument and then the function operation. Okay, so the arguments, what are arguments? You can see this is an argument which we're collecting, or some people might call it parameters. Okay, so we have to give the argument and then the function operation. What is the function operation here? It's just returning an x times x. Okay, so this time around, if we want to create a squared function or square lab function, I'm just going to give the arguments to be what? Just an x. And what is the function? X times x. Now we don't have any use to use the return keyword since this is a one-liner and it's just going to be created on one line. So that's great. We just have the argument and the function operation. So if I go ahead and I say b is equals to square lab, and I'm giving it maybe in 3, and I go ahead and print b, what's going to be the output? Now you can see 16 is outputted from the previous operation. Now we have 9, and 3 times 3 is 9. So you can basically see that that works just fine. Okay, so you might be asking yourself a question: what happens when this function has to take 2 arguments? How do we do that? Using Lambda functions. Now I'm going to walk you through basically how you can do that. Now I can say cylinder area is equal to lambda. Can't I spell again? Oh, I used an uppercase. Okay, lambda length, comma breadth, comma height. Okay, so I'm going to be returning length times breadth times height. I don't know if this is the real area of a cylinder, but you can check that out. So cylinder area is lambda. So I'm taking what argument? 3 arguments, and this is the function operation. Length times breadth times height. That's what it's basically going to return. So I'm just going to set a variable, say cylinder 1 should be equal to cylinder area. So I'm just going to give 2, 4, and say 2 or 3. This is 2, 4, 3. That's great. So I'll say cylinder 1 underscore area. So that's better variable name. So if I go ahead and I print C1 underscore area, you basically see that we get 24. So what does that mean? It returns 2 times 4 is basically 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So we can see that this is great and this is correct. So that's basically how to add more arguments to your Lambda function. Now the Lambda function is not as useful as a regular function. Just in case you're debating, oh, that means I'm going to be using Lambda all the time. No, Lambda functions are basically for defining simple functions which are normally on one line. Very simple functions like additions, multiplications, and really minor complex functions. So that's basically what you're going to be using Lambda for. They are not as powerful as the named functions in Python. So what I said is you can do things that require a single expression, usually equivalent to single line of code. So that's basically what you're going to be using Python for. Lambdas for in Python. Okay, so that is basically it. You can try changing this to a plus and a plus just to see what output you get. So you can see 9, 3 plus 2, 6 plus 4 is actually 2 plus 6, 2 plus 4 is 6, and 6 plus 3 is 9. Sorry guys. So that is basically the end of today's tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, you can basically support this channel by leaving a like and a subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.